Welcome to On the Beat, everyone. I'm Troy Thompson. Joining me today is Cline Stevens, attorney at law. Welcome, my friend. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
Now, we are, of course, doing social distancing from afar, you in your office and same with me. How is this whole pandemic affected when it comes to estate planning?
Yeah, well, life as we know it has really changed. The way that we communicate with other people, just like the way you and I are communicating today, how we handle our personal and professional business looks different. We've been forced into a more digital age that requires kind of touchless communication and social distancing that's brought on a host of problems for our estate and long-term care planning clients.
And that's the important thing. Are you finding that it's harder for the type of clients that you look after in the elderly part of the section, that it makes it a little bit harder for them?
It does. They're not as in tune with Zoom meetings and things like you and I are doing. And based on our now limited ability to have that face-to-face interaction, you may want to evaluate some elements of your estate plan to ensure that your wishes are going to be carried out should this or a similar situation in the future happen to your family. There are unique aspects of this current crisis that your estate planning documents just may not be suited to handle right now. And the language in some of those documents, it might be fine under normal circumstances, but it might cause you some additional problems for you and your loved ones if you fall ill during a pandemic.
Well, that was my next question. How has this affected with what we already have in place, and what do we need to do to make sure we are up to date?
Right. Well, I think this is an excellent time to really pull out all those estate planning documents and do a thorough review. But there are two specific documents that I've identified that might need some additional adjustments. And those are advanced healthcare directives, which some people call living wills, and your powers of attorney.
What, such as?
So with the advanced healthcare directive, that allows you to give instructions if you become terminally ill or you're in like a persistent vegetative state and unable to communicate your instructions. Many advanced healthcare directives or living wills contain like a blanket prohibition on intubation. And in the case of COVID-19, intubation can actually save your life being placed on a ventilator. So if your advanced healthcare directive contains a blanket prohibition on intubation, you may want to reconsider that or consider adding some more clarifying language. So, it'd be smart to update that advanced healthcare directive to include a provision that authorizes electronic communication, just like we're doing right now.
I do want to ask you, let's just say my mother all of a sudden goes into hospital because of this pandemic, but I don't have access to any of her information, like her living will, power of attorney, or anything like that. How do I go about doing that, knowing that she's now in hospital?
Right. Well, that is one of the reasons that make powers of attorney so important. If you wait until you're in a limited situation like that, you may not be able to get that document to have legal authority over your mom. So with a power of attorney specifically, there's two different kinds I want to talk about. One is a current or a durable power of attorney, and the other one is a springing. So a springing power of attorney only becomes effective when you're incapacitated, whereas a current power of attorney, it's effective the day you sign it. So if you have a springing power of attorney, that requires a determination of incapacity, which means a doctor has to evaluate you generally in the form of a certificate that says, no, she's not able to make her decisions. Well, if you have a springing power of attorney, your loved one may not be able to get to your doctor to get that certificate. So that's a concern. You may want to consider switching from a springing to a current power of attorney.
Well, Sarah, as always, you give great information. We love talking to you. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
If you want to find out more information, there it all is up on the screen for you. Cline Stevens, attorney at law. She's going to help you get all your paperwork in order. Back after this short break.